Listen, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you absolutely furious, and Triple H is praying that you don't figure this out until it's too late. While everyone's celebrating John Cena's retirement tour and praising Roman Reigns for his incredible run, nobody is talking about the absolute catastrophe that's about to hit WWE in 2026. Triple H is about to lose his two biggest stars at the exact same time, and he has zero plan to replace them. John Cena is walking out the door forever, Roman Reigns is going part-time whether you like it or not, and the entire foundation that WWE has been built on for the past decade is about to crumble. And before you come at me saying I'm being dramatic or that WWE will be fine, ask yourself this: who is the next John Cena? Who is the next Roman Reigns? Because I'm looking at that roster right now and I don't see anyone even close, and that should terrify every single WWE fan watching this video. Stick around because I'm going to break down exactly why 2026 could be the year that exposes everything wrong with WWE's talent development, and why Triple H might be walking into the biggest crisis of his entire career as the head of this company. Let's start with the obvious problem that everyone wants to ignore. John Cena is leaving, not taking a break, not going part-time like so many legends before him. He's actually retiring from in-ring competition. His farewell tour is happening right now, and once it's done, he's gone. No more surprise returns. No more WrestleMania moments. No more saving the day when ratings drop or when they need someone to pop the crowd. John Cena has been the safety net for WWE for 20 years. Every single time the company needed a boost, every time they needed mainstream attention, every time they needed someone who could carry the weight of being the face of WWE, they called John Cena and he delivered. He's done more media appearances than anyone in wrestling history. He's opened more doors in Hollywood than any wrestler ever. He's been the bridge between wrestling fans and casual audiences. And in 2026, that bridge is getting burned permanently. Now let me hear you say it doesn't matter. Let me hear you say WWE doesn't need John Cena anymore. Let me hear you pretend like losing the most recognized wrestler on the planet isn't going to leave a massive void. Because here's what you're not thinking about. It's not just about John Cena being on TV every week. It's about having that option. It's about knowing that when you need someone for a Fox special or a NBC appearance or a major sponsor event, you can call John Cena and he'll show up and be professional and charismatic and make WWE look good. Who's going to do that when he's gone? Who has that level of crossover appeal? Who has that level of mainstream recognition? I'm waiting for an answer because I genuinely don't know who it is. But wait, it gets worse, and this is where Triple H's problems become absolutely catastrophic. At the same time John Cena is retiring, Roman Reigns is transitioning to a part-time schedule. Now Roman hasn't officially announced this, but if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching the patterns, if you understand how this business works, you know it's coming. Roman Reigns has been the centerpiece of WWE for 4 years. He's carried the company through the pandemic. He's had the longest world championship reign in modern WWE history. He's elevated everyone he's worked with. He's proven that he's a legitimate main event star who can draw money and sell tickets. And he's earned the right to slow down, to take fewer bumps, to spend more time with his family, to preserve his health. Nobody can blame him for that. But that doesn't change the fact that WWE is about to lose their most important full-time performer. Think about what that means. In the span of 1 year, WWE is losing John Cena completely and Roman Reigns as a full-time competitor. Those are the two biggest stars of the past 15 years. Those are the two guys who have carried the company on their backs through multiple eras. Those are the two names that casual fans actually know. And they're both going to be gone or barely around at the same time. Do you understand how insane that is? Do you understand the pressure that puts on everyone else? Do you understand that Triple H is about to find out real quick whether he actually developed any legitimate stars or if he's just been coasting on the momentum that John Cena and Roman Reigns built? Here's where I'm going to make some of you really angry, but somebody needs to say it. WWE has failed to create new stars at the level of John Cena and Roman Reigns. They've created good wrestlers. They've created talented performers. They've created people who can have great matches and cut decent promos. But they have not created anyone who has that combination of in-ring ability, mic skills, mainstream appeal, and drawing power that defines a true generational superstar. Cody Rhodes is great, but he's not on that level yet and might never be. Seth Rollins is fantastic, but he doesn't have the crossover appeal. Drew McIntyre is incredible, but he's never been positioned as the absolute #1 guy. Gunther is the best wrestler on the roster, but he's not a mainstream name. LA Knight got over organically, but WWE cooled him off before he could reach that next level. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. If WWE had to send someone to do all the media appearances that John Cena does, who would they send? If they needed someone to be on Good Morning America, to do late-night talk shows, to be in commercials that air during primetime television, who's that person? If they needed someone to carry the company for an entire year as the face of the brand while working a full-time schedule, who's capable of doing that at the level Roman Reigns has done it? I'm not asking who's a good wrestler. I'm not asking who cuts good promos. I'm asking who is ready to be the guy at the level that Cena and Roman have been. And the honest answer is nobody. Not right now. Maybe not ever. This is Triple H's fault. I know people don't want to hear that because everyone loves Triple H now. Everyone talks about how much better the product has been since he took over. Everyone praises him for bringing back logical storytelling and treating wrestlers with respect. And those things are true. The shows are better. The matches are better. The overall quality has improved. But none of that matters if you don't have stars. None of that matters if you don't have people who can draw money and sell tickets and get mainstream attention. And Triple H has been so focused on making the hardcore fans happy, so focused on putting on great wrestling matches, so focused on building a product that gets critical acclaim, that he's forgotten the most important lesson that Vince McMahon understood: you need larger-than-life superstars. WWE under Triple H has become a company of very good wrestlers who all feel kind of the same. They all have similar movesets. They all cut similar promos. They all have similar looks. There's no variety. There's no one who feels truly special or different or bigger than everyone else. Everyone is presented as being roughly equal, and while that might make for competitive matches, it doesn't make for stars. Stars are created by making people feel special, by making them feel important, by making them feel like they're above everyone else. Roman Reigns became a star because WWE committed to him completely, gave him the ball, and let him run with it for years. They protected him. They featured him. They made him feel like the most important person in the company. Who is getting that treatment now? Who is being positioned as the next guy who's going to carry this company for the next decade? The answer is nobody, and that's a massive problem. Because when John Cena leaves and Roman Reigns goes part-time, WWE is going to need someone to step up immediately. They're not going to have time to build someone slowly. They're not going to have the luxury of experimenting and seeing what works. They're going to need a star ready to go right now, and they don't have one. Cody Rhodes is probably the closest thing they have, but even Cody's positioning has been weird. He won the title, which was great, but then what? What has he done since winning that made him feel like an undeniable top guy? What has elevated him to that John Cena, Roman Reigns level of importance? And this brings me to something that's going to make Triple H fans really mad, but it needs to be said. Triple H is too focused on making everyone happy. He's too focused on rotating people in and out of the main event. He's too focused on giving everyone opportunities. And while that sounds great in theory, it doesn't create stars. Stars are created by focus. Stars are created by committing to someone and riding with them through the ups and downs. Stars are created by making tough decisions about who to push and who to keep in the midcard. Vince McMahon was great at this. He picked his guys and he stuck with them. He made John Cena the guy for 15 years and didn't waver even when fans booed him. He made Roman Reigns the guy and stuck with it even when it wasn't working until it finally clicked. That's how you build stars. You pick someone, you commit, and you give them years to grow into the role. Who has Triple H committed to like that? Who is he willing to bet the entire company on? Because that's what he's going to have to do in 2026 when John Cena and Roman Reigns aren't there to bail him out. He's going to have to look at that roster and say, this is my guy, this is the person I'm building everything around, this is the person who's going to be the face of WWE for the next decade. And I don't think he's ready to make that decision. I don't think he's willing to make that decision. And I think he's going to try to do what he's been doing, which is rotating people and giving everyone a chance. And it's going to fail because that's not how you create the kind of stars that can replace John Cena and Roman Reigns. Let's talk about the financial implications of all this because that's what really matters to WWE's corporate overlords. John Cena moves the needle. When he's advertised for a show, ticket sales go up. When he's featured on television, ratings go up. When he does media, publicity increases. He's a proven commodity who generates revenue. Roman Reigns is the same. His merchandise sales are through the roof. His matches main event pay-per-views. His presence makes shows feel important. When you lose both of those guys in the same year, you lose a significant amount of revenue-generating capability. And WWE is a public company now. They have shareholders to answer to. They have quarterly earnings to report. They can't just shrug and say, well, we'll figure it out. They need to have a plan, and right now, I don't see evidence of a real plan. The part-time schedule issue with Roman is particularly problematic because it creates a power vacuum at the top of the card. When Roman is around, he's the main event. When he's not around, what happens? Do you have someone strong enough to fill that void? Do you have multiple people who can rotate in and out of that spot and maintain the same level of interest? Because historically, WWE has struggled with this. When part-timers like The Rock or Brock Lesnar were around, the shows felt big and important. When they were gone, things felt smaller and less significant. If Roman goes part-time and there's nobody ready to take his place full-time, you're going to see that same drop in interest, that same feeling that the shows don't matter as much when the big stars aren't there. Here's another thing nobody's talking about. John Cena and Roman Reigns are both relatively young guys who are leaving or reducing their schedules. Cena is only in his late 40s. Roman is in his late 30s. These guys have years left where they could still be performing at a high level, but they're choosing to step back. Why? Because the schedule is brutal. Because the wear and tear on their bodies is real. Because they've made enough money and accomplished enough that they don't need to keep grinding. But what does that say to the younger guys on the roster? What does that say about WWE's ability to keep its top stars long-term? If your two biggest stars both decide to leave or reduce their schedules while they're still in their prime, that's a red flag about the sustainability of what WWE is asking from its performers. This also raises questions about WWE's developmental system. NXT under Triple H was supposed to be creating the next generation of superstars. It was supposed to be a pipeline that constantly fed main roster-ready talent to Raw and SmackDown. But look at who's come up from NXT recently. They're good wrestlers, but are any of them ready to be the face of the company? Are any of them ready to replace John Cena and Roman Reigns? The honest answer is no. They need more seasoning. They need more time. But WWE doesn't have more time. They need stars now, and the developmental system hasn't produced them fast enough. Let me throw out some names and you tell me if any of these people are ready to be the next John Cena or Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker? Talented, but needs more character development. Carmelo Hayes? Great in-ring, but hasn't connected with audiences on the main roster yet. Trick Williams? Still very new. Ilja Dragunov? Incredible wrestler, but not positioned as a top guy. Cora Jade? Building, but not there yet. None of these people are ready to carry WWE through 2026 when the two biggest stars are gone or barely around. And that's not a criticism of them as performers. That's a criticism of WWE's system for not preparing them properly and not giving them the time and spotlight they need to develop into that level of star. The comparison to other eras is stark. When Hulk Hogan left WWE in the early 90s, they had Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels ready to go. When Austin and Rock left in the early 2000s, they had John Cena and Batista coming up. When Cena started slowing down, they had Roman Reigns. There was always someone waiting in the wings who had been properly built up and positioned to take over. Who's waiting in the wings now? Who has been built up properly? Who feels like they're ready to carry WWE when Cena and Roman are gone? I'm looking at that roster and I don't see that person clearly defined, and we're only months away from this becoming WWE's reality. Triple H's booking philosophy is also going to be tested in a way it hasn't been before. It's easy to book when you have John Cena and Roman Reigns to fall back on. It's easy to create compelling television when you have established stars who already have credibility and mainstream recognition. But when those guys are gone, can Triple H create new stars from scratch? Can he take someone who's unknown to casual audiences and turn them into a household name? Because that's what's required. That's what Vince McMahon did multiple times throughout his career. He took unknowns and made them into icons. Can Triple H do that? We're about to find out, and I'm not confident based on what we've seen so far. So where does this leave WWE going into 2026? They're losing their biggest mainstream star completely. They're losing their most important full-time performer to a part-time schedule. They don't have anyone obviously ready to replace either of them. Their developmental system hasn't produced main event level talent fast enough. Their current booking philosophy doesn't seem designed to create larger-than-life superstars. And they're a public company that needs to maintain revenue and satisfy shareholders. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a crisis waiting to happen. And Triple H better have answers ready because the questions are coming fast. Now here's what WWE should do, and I want to see if you agree with this in the comments. They need to pick someone right now, today, and commit to making them the guy. Not kind of the guy. Not one of the guys. The guy. They need to give that person the ball, feature them in every important segment, protect them in losses, give them the best storylines, and bet everything on them becoming the next face of WWE. Is it risky? Absolutely. Could it fail? Of course. But it's less risky than not having anyone ready when Cena leaves and Roman goes part-time. At least if you commit to someone now, you have time to course correct if it's not working. If you wait until 2026, it's too late. The other thing WWE needs to do is get serious about making their current roster feel like stars. Stop booking everyone as interchangeable. Stop having clean finishes in every match. Start protecting people. Start making wins and losses matter more. Start creating auras around your top performers that make them feel special and different from everyone else. Wrestling has always been about making people believe that certain performers are just better, more important, more valuable than others. WWE has gotten away from that, and they need to get back to it immediately if they want to survive the loss of Cena and Roman. This is Triple H's biggest challenge. This is what's going to define his legacy as the head of WWE. Can he navigate the company through the loss of its two biggest stars and come out the other side with new stars ready to carry the load? Or is WWE going to struggle in 2026 because they weren't prepared for this transition? Time will tell, but right now, I'm worried. I'm worried that WWE has been complacent. I'm worried that they've relied too heavily on Cena and Roman. I'm worried that they haven't done enough to build the next generation. And I'm worried that 2026 is going to expose all of these problems in a very public and very painful way. So now I need to hear from you. Do you think WWE is ready for John Cena to retire and Roman Reigns to go part-time? Who do you think should be the next face of WWE? Is Triple H doing enough to build new stars, or has he dropped the ball on talent development? Sound off in the comments right now because this is the most important conversation WWE fans need to be having. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more real talk about wrestling, and share this video with everyone who needs to hear this message. Tag someone who thinks WWE will be fine. Tag someone who's worried about the future. Let's get this debate going because 2026 is coming fast and WWE better be ready. I'll see you in the next one.